morning from an absolutely gorgeous day on the water. It is glass calm right now, but it will not be like this for very long. This afternoon, we're gonna be having a cool front blow in, and the winds are gonna pick up, and it will not be looking like this by the afternoon, and the wind's gonna blow for about 10 days. So we are taking the opportunity to head out on the boat to try to catch some lobsters today. We got Vic on the boat, my mom and Fisher's playing hooky from work today because it is a Wednesday. So let's go see if we can catch some lobsters. I will see you guys underwater. This is what diving dreams are made of. You absolutely crave glass calm, crystal clear days like this. It is gorgeous. Just look at that. Does that not make you want to just jump in the water? Fisher already spotted lobsters, so we are anchored up. Hop into the water. Let's go catch them. Woohoo!
Wow!
Holy cow!
Brook said, don't be scared to catch them today.
Holy cow! Fisher was not messing around. Can you hold them all up, or are they in your arms? 3 in one dive!
Alright.
That was insane! Mom, how crazy was that?
Very, very nice fishing.
Three nice lobster right off the rip.
That was crazy, Fish.
Off to a good start.
Fisher said, I see 3 under this rock, and what did he do? He caught literally all 3 in one dive at the same time. That was crazy. Look at this! Flat, calm. Boat sitting pretty. Couldn't ask for more. There was what, 5 or 6 under that rock?
Yeah, that was a good spot.
May not all be legal. Fisher's first 3 were legal. This one's definitely illegal, but we'll throw the gauge on it anyways. Keeper. My mom's got the bag, so we don't have to swim them all to the boat. Going in the bag. Phil's keeper again.
How many is that, 6 or 7?
No, 5.
5?
Right, Mom?
This one's just a hair too small, so we'll let it go.
First one of the day that's too small. This one is just too short. Look at that. So they have to be greater than 3 inches, and he is exactly 3 inches. That gauge falls behind the head, and they got to be bigger than that, so he's too small.
big lobsters today. Where's the mama?
Those are always my favorite fish to see. They always look like they're showing off for the camera, those French angelfish. I'm over here filming angelfish, and Fisher's like, Brooke, do you have lobsters over there? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, we have some over here. Come over here. I'm just filming the fish.
I don't know if they're all legal, but there's a ton in this rock. A little honey hole.
A lot of small ones, but I know mine's a keeper. Yours a keeper?
Yep.
So Vic and I both got a keeper, but there's definitely some babies in there. Looks a little small. How about the rest of them?
I'm gonna check on one more. One more might be legal, but the rest are small. There's even some this big in that rock.
Wow.
Really?
So Fisher is catching all his by sticking his arms in this rock and ripping them out, where he's also tickling them out as well. And Victor and I are using my handmade lobster nets. You guys can find these at FloridaLobsterNets.com. I hand make them. And then the tickle stick that Fisher's using is also my tickle stick that you can find at FloridaLobsterNets.com. Didn't even need to tickle them out. Stuck the net right on top of them. Another keeper. What? Okay. Fisher says he's got a bunch over there. Victor said that there's a coral head full of lobster here. What dreams are made of. Let's go see. Let's go catch those big boys. He's clapping for joy. Nice one. Pop, your son is an animal.
I didn't want to let anyone else catch this one.
Look at that! Hold the other one up.
This is a normal lobster.
Hold them both up.
Look at that one.
He's an animal, Mom.
Like his dad.
Like his dad.
Take one. Oh man, that's when you know they're good size.
Good job, Vicky.
It's a big one too.
My mom's got the most important job holding the bag of gold. I'm over here catching shrimps, And wait until you see the one that the boys are about to catch. It's giant. Mine isn't even legal and you caught a freaking giant.
Look at this. Dinosaur.
Wow. Another big one.
I love it when you catch a lobster and you don't even have to second guess if it's legal.
Good job. That is the second lobster that I literally just put the net on top of and he didn't even do anything. That's how you know that these nets are good. I just set it on him and he didn't even care.
He's good.
See, that's what they usually do. They usually shoot to the back of the net like that one did. But a couple of them, they just didn't even move.
I don't know.
That was incredible. Can you imagine if every single rock looked like that? That was insane. That was so cool. Occasionally when you catch lobsters, you accidentally knock off their legs. But the cool thing about lobsters is they can actually regrow their legs. Let's say if the lobster was too small and we had to let it go. But a lobster leg dropped off and that hogfish just slurped that thing down. A lot of times you'll see hogfish and lobsters in the same areas and they absolutely love when they get a little lobster leg that you guys knock off from them. Well, that was cool. He swam away looking real proud with his little lobster leg sticking out of his mouth. I wanted to show you guys this bag of lobsters that my mom's been carrying around, and I'm like, holy crap, Mom, how have you been holding this thing? It's heavy. It's like holding a bag of bowling balls underwater. Look at this. Insane. We didn't even have to move the boat and we got the job done. Check this out. Show us your water polo skills. That's way... Fisher and I used to play water polo in high school, and how big are those jugs? 5 gallons?
Probably something like that. The
Those
ones you see in Office Space.
Yeah, those big water jugs. As practice, you had to fill it up with water and tread water and hold it above your head until it emptied out of water. I think it's more than 5 gallons.
They're big.
But it, obviously, when you first tilted it over your head, it was so heavy. But, yeah, that was some water polo skills there. The sky looks so cool. Well, I would say that was a very, very successful dive. We never even had to move the boat. We caught all of those lobsters in one single spot just around the boat. Check it out. We're about to take the thumbnail, so we're gonna empty them all out of the bag now. They're so stuffed in there, they don't even want to come out. I would say that was a picture perfect dive day today. We never moved the boat. We anchored up in one spot, caught all of our lobsters in the one spot, and it was just incredible.
You couldn't have asked for a better dive day. It went flawlessly, yeah. So we missed Pops out here. He's Jed and my dad. I guess we could got Gabby out here. But being able to take off on a Wednesday and catch your limit in no time and head back in with flat water, it's the best kind of lobstering you could do.
What did you think, Mom?
I thought it was awesome. Anchored up, we never moved. All the lobsters were close, they were big.
Yeah, they were big.
Fisher almost drowned me with that big one. He kept trying to get it in the hole, but it was so big. Beautiful, swimming with all those fish. It's nice to get out in nature.
We got to thank your mom for holding that giant bowling
I
ball
know.
underwater.
When I finally took it from her, it was so heavy. It's always funny because you never realize how heavy it is because you think you're just like floating in the water, you know, but that thing is really pulling you down.
So the last 2 days, Brookie was sick, so me and Brooke's dad and some friends, we went fishing the last 2 days. Pretty much got skunked, but it was nice to come out here and have a successful day. Target species, gorgeous weather, just taking advantage of basically no wind because for the next 10 days it's going to be blowing and we're definitely not going.
On November 2nd and 3rd, Victor and I will be at the Fort Lauderdale boat show, and our boat will also be there. Our boat will be there during the entire time at the Bluewater booth. So if you guys want to see our boat in person, check out the Bluewater booth. It'll be in the convention center. Specifically on Saturday between 1 and 3 o'clock, Victor and I will be at the Suzuki Marine booth. I believe it's also in the convention center, so you guys can find us there as well as at the Bluewater booth. So make sure you guys come say hi, check out our beautiful boat because this thing is incredible. I would love for you guys to come see it in person. And if you're interested in one, this will be the perfect opportunity to see it in person. So hopefully I will see you guys there. We're about to run home, clean up all these lobsters, and then Fisher's got to get back to work. My dad didn't come out here today because he had to take some measurements. If you guys didn't know, my mom and my dad both own the canvas factory, and Fisher is their #1 employee. So they didn't have work this morning because my dad needed to get some measurements, but now Fisher's going back to work, and we have the most beautiful boat cover that I'm going to show you guys when we get back to the dock as well that goes on this boat that you guys can get for yourself from the canvas factory. So let's head home.
Back from a successful day of lobster catching.
It's almost hard to find a small lobster because they're all so big, but this is a normal size lobster that you usually catch. And this is a nice big jumbo. Fisher just weighed it, and how much did it weigh?
Over 2.5 pounds.
It was like 2.7 something pounds. That's a big boy. That's a nice Florida lobster
Hold
right
them
there.
up, both, like this. You can just see how much bigger this one's legs and
The
everything.
legs
Look at
are
that.
huge. I'm going to show you guys how to clean the lobster. You always break off the tip of the antenna because you need this to clean the tail out. And then what I like to do is I take one hand on the head, one hand on the tail, and twist. And then you're going to take that antenna, and we're getting out the digestive tract of the lobster. So shove this in there. And it has backwards facing spines that will grab that digestive tract and pull it on out. There is a nice clean lobster tail ready for the kitchen. And a lot of times people ask me what you do with the heads. These heads do not have a lot of meat in them, but if you wanted to, you could take the hose and squirt all of the guts out of the head. And then these legs, as you can see, are quite small, but if you boil them and take all the time to try to clean the legs out, there is a tiny bit of meat that will come out of the legs. So you can boil these and then snap them all open, get every little bit out of there if you wanted to. But there is meat in those legs like that. And then also, this is called the knuckle of the lobster. So when you hear a lobster make noise underwater, it's because he's taking his knuckles and going like this. And that's how he makes that noise underwater, and that's what he does to try to fend off predators. But this knuckle here also will have a little bit of meat in it as well. So Fisher's cleaning up all the lobsters, my mom's bagging them, and I have not even thought about what I want to cook yet, so when I do, I will see you guys in the kitchen. Alright guys, like I said, we have the most gorgeous boat cover for our boat, and we just timed putting this cover on, and it took 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Everyone's biggest thing with boat covers is they always say, I don't want a boat cover, it takes so long to put on, it takes so long to take off. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to protect this boat for years to come so that it will be looking brand new. The worst thing ever is when you want to go boating and your boat is dirty before you even leave the dock. This solves that problem. Every single time we go to use the boat, we take the cover off. It looks just like the time we put it on, nice and clean underneath the cover, and it just makes your boating experience that much better. After we're done fishing, we wash the boat, throw the cover back on. The cover comes off so fast, it goes on so easy. It is the best investment for your boat. This boat will be looking brand new for years to come, and it just saves a lot of misery from constantly having to wash your boat. If you guys don't have a boat cover, you know how annoying it is to have to wash your boat before you even leave the dock. Like I said, my parents own the canvas factory. If you didn't know, I actually worked for my dad for, I think, like 4 years before I went YouTube full-time, so I also know a lot about the canvas business. But my dad can make you a full boat cover if you guys are local or willing to bring your boat to Pompano Beach. We also have an incredible sunshade for this boat, which he can build you a sunshade regardless of where your center console is located, and he can take the correct measurements and ship it to you wherever you're located. However, this beautiful full boat cover is only available if you're local, because you can see how customized it is, and that is something that you can only get if my dad can either go to your boat or you bring it here to their dock in Pompano Beach. All of his information will be linked down in the description. He also has a YouTube channel where we just made a boat cover video, so you guys can see this entire cover in details if you're interested. He's got a ton of other videos on a bunch of different boats, so you can go on there, check them out. Boat Canvas Factory on YouTube. Victor and I got home from lobstering yesterday, and we washed the boat but didn't put the cover on. And this boat sat here for about 12 hours, and you guys know how I said that the wind was going to be blowing yesterday afternoon. And as you can see, it is very windy today, and you should see how much dirt is in the boat in less than 12 hours, just from the wind blowing stuff from trees. Everyone thinks it's stupid to have a full boat cover, but the amount of junk that gets in your boat just over time is crazy. So I will see you guys back in the kitchen to cook up those lobsters. Good morning and welcome back to the kitchen. Today we are switching things up. You know, I thought about it, and I have been catching and eating lobsters basically my entire life, and I have had lobster for dinner so many times, but I have never once had lobster for breakfast. And today that changes, and that is exactly what I'm doing. So every year for Christmas, we always have a big family breakfast, and my mom always makes this quiche that is really, really delicious. So I asked her for her quiche recipe, and it's usually with breakfast sausage, but I am switching out the breakfast sausage for lobster. So we got 2 pie crust here that we're going to be using to make 2 quiches this morning. And then we're also going to do a breakfast burrito station that we're gonna put lobster in as well. So the family will be coming over in about an hour and a half. And I already prepared my lobster. So I took the lobsters out of the shells and chopped them up into little pieces. And the first thing we're gonna do is season up this lobster so we can get it cooking, so we can get it into our pie pans. So we're just gonna do salt, pepper, and garlic powder on these. All right, so we got some lobsters going into butter here. All right, so our lobsters have been cooking for like 2 minutes. We're gonna add in some green onions. Nothing like the smell of lobster for breakfast, huh? Mm-hmm. So I whisked together 12 eggs, and now we need 2 cups of half and half. And we're also gonna do some salt in here, as well as some pepper. And now we're gonna add in the half and half. So we're going to take our cooked lobster, put it at the bottom of our pie shells here. Next thing, we're adding cheddar cheese. These are going to be very hard to pick up to put in the oven, but you only needed 8 ounces of your meat for each quiche, and I may have done a little extra, so maybe that's why I have a little bit too much egg, but we're gonna do one more layer of cheese on top. Careful. Center rack, please. Oh, it's overflowing.
It's all right.
We'll see you in 30 minutes. So I'm preparing the rest of the lobsters for the breakfast burritos, and check this out. This lobster was about to molt and shed its shell. So the lobsters grow by molting and shedding. So this is his hard shell, but he was growing his next one, and he was very close to needing to shed. And so you'll always see us when we make lobsters, we'll take our lobsters out of the shell most of the time and then cut that layer of skin off. If you were to get this lobster, like if you were to cook it in its shell, you would have this whole extra skin in there that's not very tasty. So what I like to do is skin it kind of like a fish. And you're just getting all the good meat and leaving behind that skin that you really do not want to be eating. I love taking the lobsters out of the shells. I think they taste so much better when you cut that bit of skin off. I'm gonna show you one more time. Crack their back. And then the shell comes right off, nice and easy. So as you can see, this one's very different than what the last one looked like. But I'm doing 9 lobsters this morning, and every single skin has been at a different stage, so you never really know what you're gonna get, and you can't tell what they're gonna be at when you're catching them. So it's been 30 minutes, and we're gonna just check on them. And I don't want them to brown too much, so we're gonna put aluminum foil on top. They look really good. They're definitely not finished. They're still pretty watery in the center. If you guys can only smell this, they smell really good. So I'm gonna just lay this on top. Now they're going back in for probably another 15 minutes. We're also doing the breakfast burritos, like I said. So in this pan, we have some green pepper and onions that are getting nice and tender. And we're going to add in some lobster, and all I seasoned this with was salt and pepper. Again, same thing, just chopped up into small pieces. All right, so here is our lobster pepper onion combo. We got our eggs for our burrito, and then the main star, the quiche.
Brooke, you're the main star.
No. Well, that's the first one. So, there's your quiche. Then for these, just make your own like little burrito with some eggs,
Lobster.
lobsters and pepper, and then you can do salsa in there if you want.
My mouth is watering just smelling it and looking at it. My mouth's watering. Wow.
Oh, the bacon, Brooke.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
You can put a strip of bacon in your burrito too.
Or you can eat it on the side.
Or you can eat it on the side.
And you can't host breakfast without a little bit of bacon.
I think I'm gonna put it right in my burrito.
Okay, everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you. Looks delicious. Can't wait.
I've been eating Florida lobsters for, hate to admit it, 50 years. Never had them for breakfast, and when Brooke said she was making it for breakfast, I was like, wow, that's gonna be neat. This lobster burrito with everything that she put in there is phenomenal. I can't, it's way better than I even thought it was gonna be. It's delicious. Good job, Brooke.
Same with this quiche. So good. I never had lobster quiche, but I would definitely have it again. So good.
It doesn't matter if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. If this was on a menu, I would 100% order it. Lobster just goes so good with the eggs and the cheese and scallion. Lobster burritos, we had it 2 different ways. A very creative way for Brooke to kind of elevate her recipe. When I met this family, I've had lobster with them for the last 12 years, and we've had it so many different ways. Ceviche, sauteed, and paellas, but this was a fun and very creative and very delicious way to cook your lobster. So good job, Brooke.
Thank you.
Brooke and I were talking about possible recipes for lobster breakfast yesterday, and we came up with quite a few of them. And so I was excited to see what she came up with, and it did not disappoint. It was amazing. Lobster breakfast burrito, who knew? It's incredible how good lobster is for breakfast. I hope we do it again. Thanks, Brooke.
It's so fun having breakfast together. We don't usually do that unless maybe we're scalloping and we're all together. So this was a lot of fun. I really loved both your dishes. I had a lot of fun going out with you to catch them. Not everyone could come. It was during the week. It was a beautiful day. I hope you keep asking me to come out with you. My mother-in-law was an inspiration to me. In her 80s, she would go crabbing, shrimping, fishing, she was game for anything. So I hope I can keep doing that too.
You'll be holding the lobster bag when you're 80, Mom.
Definitely nothing I would have ever been able to come up with on my own. Breakfast, lobster is definitely not what comes to mind first when I think of lobster, but it's definitely something that will come to mind in the future because it's really, really good. And sometimes breakfast can get boring because you eat the same thing every week, but lobster quiche is a game changer.
I was not expecting to have lobster for breakfast, but this is really good. I like how all the flavors mesh well together, and it was super tasty.
Thank you. They all asked me where I got the idea for this recipe, and every time that I'm making these catch and cooks, I'm always trying to think of new things by replacing like a typical dish with like the fish or with lobster. Like, I don't know, take something you normally have like chicken with and put lobster in its place, or put fish in its place. So like this breakfast recipe usually calls for sausage, switch it out with lobster. That's just like the way that my brain likes to think of trying to make new recipes and trying to always get creative with making something new, because I've made, I don't know, probably close to 400 videos, and almost every single one is a catch and cook. So you're constantly trying to think of new things, of different ways to cook your dishes. So breakfast today turned out really well. I know people make like lobster omelets and stuff. I've heard that before, so I was kind of trying to just play on that idea. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. I really enjoyed it, you know, switching it up to the breakfast. So if you guys are going to be hosting a breakfast and you have some extra lobsters sitting around, go ahead and try one of these recipes. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in that next video, or at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show if you guys come and see us. Again, that is November 2nd and November 3rd, the Saturday and the Sunday that we will be there. So hopefully we'll meet you guys in person. Bye.